Elon Musk is known for being successful in business. He's the founder of electric vehicle company Tesla, the private space exploration company SpaceX, brain chip maker Neuralink, and infrastructure firm The Boring Company. But by February 1996, it was clear that the company was going nowhere. They were barely making any money, and they had just 3 months of runway left. After PayPal made him a multi-billionaire, Elon felt like he could finally take a break and focus on some of his other passions, like space exploration. He founded SpaceX in 2002 with the goal of reducing transportation costs to enable the colonization of Mars. But the company didn't get off to a great start. Their first 4 launches ended in explosions. It wasn't until their 5th launch that SpaceX became the first privately funded company to successfully reach orbit. Shortly after that, they won a contract with NASA worth $1.6 billion. Despite this win, though, SpaceX has gone through many other failures, including the loss of their first-ever rocket. But through it all, the company has grown to become one of the most valuable private companies in the world. They needed to find a way to make money, or they would have to shut down. The car had a price tag of over $100,000 because of the high import fees. And this inspired Elon to start his own electric car company. However, when he got to work, he quickly realized that making an affordable electric car was much harder than he thought. Tesla almost ran out of money during the development of their first car, the Roadster. But they managed to pull through and eventually sold over 2,400 Roadsters. Since then, Tesla has gone on to produce several very successful models and is now the most valuable automaker in the world. Elon worked around the clock trying to figure out how to save the company. Even when Elon has failed, he's used that failure to adapt and improve and try again. That's why it's no surprise that all of his companies have been so successful. But despite his efforts, Zip2 was forced to lay off its first employee. Their only full-time employee besides the founders, the company was last-ditch trying to secure funding. They sent out a mass email to potential investors. One of the few people who responded was an angel investor named Mike Lin. Mike offered the company $300,000 for 20%. While Elon knew that this deal wasn't great, it was their only option if they wanted to stay open. And so the deal was made. It's just a year later, though. Elon would end up selling his remaining shares of Zip2 to Compaq for $17 million. This meant that although Elon didn't make much money from Zip2 himself, the company didn't fail completely, and it provided him with valuable experience that he could use in the future. And while Musk has had his fair share of successes, he's also experienced many failures. So how did all those failures lead to his success? In order to make his next venture successful, Elon decided to change his approach. Instead of starting from scratch, he looked for an existing company that was already making money. He found one in an online payment platform called Confinity. Elon offered to buy the company and merge it with his own, but was turned down. And so he went ahead and launched XCOM anyway. The company had a lot of growing pains initially. There was bad press about security vulnerabilities, and they suffered several DDoS attacks. But through all of these obstacles, Elon pressed on. Eventually, XCOM merged with another large online payment platform called PayPal in 2000. And 2 years later, PayPal purchased the remaining shares of the company. While this might sound like a failure, PayPal's purchase of XCOM actually marked the biggest payday of Elon's life up until that point, netting him $180 million. Not only that, but again, Elon gained more experience that he could use later on. Let's take a look at how each of his big companies started out. We'll start with Elon's first company, Zip2. Elon founded Zip2 with his brother, Kimball, in 1995, after they secured $207,000 in initial funding. Next. We'll look at Elon's next company, X next. Let's look at what might be Elon's most well-known company, SpaceX. Finally, let's look at Tesla. Elon became interested in electric vehicles when he learned about the Lotus Elise, which was prohibitively expensive in America because of poor government policy. Clearly, all of Elon's biggest companies have faced a significant amount of struggle, but none of them have failed completely.